Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, for episode 3 of The Roottrees Are Dead. Took a day off to go watch Barbenheimer, but now we are back on it, and there are a couple things that I want to remind myself to do. The first one is these two. I did not put their photographs in there, even though I know where they are. So that is the first thing. It may take me a minute to remember where exactly I put these two in the family line. It's here, right? See, I don't know if I'm 100% right about this. Because she's got a photo, and that's her, right? Much love, Debbie. So, well, let's just do it. At minimum, I'll remember she goes there. There's three things I want to do. The third one involves Carolyn, which I assume I reviewed the footage. I'm a dumbass, and I put these in the wrong order. I guess I should go copy paste them. Oh, that's going to be fun. I actually have to remember how to get there. I want to say it was just Carolyn's own thing in the search engine. Carolyn Morden. Guten Morden. Oh, interesting. Carolyn is listed on a few art websites. She seems to be associated with a movement called P-Flag. This is not what I intended to do when I typed in Carolyn Morden. She must be on something else. Okay. Parents and friends of lesbians and gays. Fair enough. Now, if I'm not mistaken, she's a lesbian, because she was married to somebody. Did I write it down in my infinite wisdom? Of course you didn't. How about here? How about there? Alright, so I'm gonna have to find where I learned the deets on Carolyn. I could always cheat and go back to my own Let's Play, because I did have it right at the end there. But I'm sure I can find it. Let's see. Butler County Times, Carolyn Morden. Yeah, we found it. There we go. She's got a book, Self-Portrait, Art and the Beauty of Women. What else is there? I guess we just need her name, Carolyn Morden. And I put them in the wrong spot last time, which was why it brought up no results. Hopefully we'll be slightly more successful on this take. Haha. Hey, she's dedicating it to Eloise and Stephanie. Black and white pictures of her art. The set piece is a series of full-color nude self-portraits at different ages stretching from 25 to 30. They have not been added to your evidence. Carolyn talks about influences. She's one of the younger generation. She felt betrayed when her sister Gwendolyn and cousin Bonnie, oh, this is good, gave up on dreams to settle for boring men. Amen. She especially dislikes her brother-in-law, Dr. Wilson, who she calls completely bogus. Their marriage has led her to double down on her passions, art and the environment. She even married a man. Oh, this is good, because the place I slotted them in has a bunch of divorces. The opposite of boring, which was an overcorrection. She comes out strongly against the Roottrees Company's effect on the local environment. She was not able to convince her father, Zach, to make changes to policy. Zach. Is there a Zach Roottree? She also explains that her marriage to Mark led her to the most volatile moments in her life, and that the only good thing he ever gave her was a daughter. Leaving them all behind for good has pushed her to pursue her true loves, art, and the beauty of women. Oh my gosh, there's a lot here. Alright. She seems pretty divorced from the Roottrees. We're gonna give Carolyn her own. Okay, so Carolyn has a daughter named, I don't remember, but she married Mark. Her father is Zach Roottree. It's supposed to be a question mark as opposed to married Mark. What else do we have in here? Carolyn, oh, here they go. Sister Gwendolyn, cousin Bonnie. Sister Gwendolyn, cousin Bonnie. She's got a wife in here somewhere too, right? No, she's got a brother-in-law, Dr. Wilson, which doesn't say anything about whether or not he's married. Brother, Dr. Wilson. Oh yeah, no, because it's dedicated to Eloise, who I'm going to assume she married. Or, married / partner. You never know in that day and age. In that day and age, they would probably be listed as very close friends. Is that everything we can get from this, which is a treasure trove? Stephanie, that was the name. I knew that. Has a daughter named Stephanie, who ran for public office successfully. Wow, that's a lot of names. I didn't even know they stacked names that high. Is there anything else we can put from here? Which one of these many branches on this glorious tree do I want to go through first? So, Carolyn, an unknown, got divorced. This is seeming right. Is there any Marks in here? There's a Mark Landon. That makes sense, because she's a Stephanie Landon. They had a kid. It's kind of a weird way of... I guess this button could refer to both adopted and just kind of taken care of in some way, shape, or form. So Carolyn got divorced to Mark, had Eloise, married to Brian. Perfect. Cool. Her dad's name is Zach. I'm going to see if there's a Zach root tree. No. There's a Zach Wilson. And that's it. I'm going to lock that homie in. Do we know about her mother? We don't, but we do know about her sister. Hey, page 3. Who's her sister? Her sister is Gwendolyn. Voot, over here. Wait. Not that. Gwendolyn. Gwendolyn Morden. I mean, fair enough. Why on earth... Why would Zach be a Wilson? Is there a Zach Morden? L.M. Yeah, there we go. He's the wrong guy. Why on earth would... Okay, Zachariah Morden. Lord knows what his job is, but he had 2 daughters, Carolyn Morden and Gwendolyn Morden, who married a boring guy that I may be able to glean more about, but dang, they were busy. And there's one more thing. So let's see. We got Stephanie in there. We got Mark in there. We got Zach in there. He's not a root tree. We got Gwenny in there. She's got a cousin Bonnie and a... Oh, she's also... Uh-oh. She's also got a brother. That's not good. I don't have room for a brother on this chart. And there's a Gwendolyn. Uh-oh. Alright, Gwendolyn. Oh, there's 2 Gwendolyns. There's a Gwendolyn root tree and a Gwendolyn Morden. Not necessarily in that order. So there could be... I was like, oh shoot, is that her? Okay. Brother... Was I right about Brother Dr. Wilson? Did it save my deets? Wait, no. We were in this column. Carolyn. She was one of the youngest. She was in her late teens, and she felt betrayed when her sister and her cousin... Okay, so she has a sister. Her brother-in-law. Okay. Oh, we're back in business. So her sister Gwendolyn, who is going to be older than her, so we have them staggered properly on the family tree. Cousin Bonnie is also going to be older than her, so it's probably like this person or something. She has a brother-in-law. A brother-in-law is somebody who marries one's sister, right? Would this be Dr. Wilson? I think so. Their marriage led her to double down on her passions. She even married a man who's the opposite of boring. She has a father named Zach, I think. I think we're good. I'm sorry. I need to double check Mark. Make sure I'm correct in assuming that she married, because I did not see a Mark in what I just read. Her marriage to Mark. Okay, we're good. Brother-in-law. This is a brother-in-law, right? I have a brother in real life. If he... is that right? If my brother in real life were to marry someone, would she be my sister-in-law? Is that right? People always meme about hating their in-laws. Aren't in-laws? Yeah, it's father-in-law and mother-in-law. Wouldn't that... That's not right. You're a brother-in-law if you are their brother. So, if my real-life brother married someone and she had a brother, wouldn't that be my brother's brother-in-law? So if I were to marry someone and she had a brother, that guy would be my brother-in-law, right? If Carolyn's sister married, does that make him... Is that how brother-in-laws work? Oh, boy. I have nowhere better to put him, so I guess we'll just... Wilson starts with W. Why is there so many Wilsons? How dare you? Do we have more? No. Steven, Jason, and Jem Wilson. And Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson. Would it make sense? Would it make sense? No, it doesn't. I guess... No. That would... I was like, he could have called himself Zach, because he's named after this Zach. But that doesn't make any sense. They're not related genetically, as far as I can tell. Cool. Speaking of Gwendolyn's... or sorry, not Gwendolyn's. I noticed something. Gwyneth Anderson does not have the gold. She is not outlined like all of these dashing duds, which means I got something wrong about her. I don't think it's her portrait. This is Eliath and Gwyneth Anderson. Wait a minute, is that the problem? There's a Gwyneth Madsen. Is there a Gwyneth Roottrees? There shouldn't be, because it's her married. Alright, well, here's some fun facts. She didn't get locked in, despite being part of a previous set. So if she's not Gwyneth Anderson, she's probably Gwyneth Madsen. This family tree will mark successes after 3 correct blood relatives. Sadly, I've locked in a lot of people without anything getting locked. Look at this guy. Miranda Roottrees didn't get locked in. They don't think he's correct. He was... Did I not fill him out right before these two? I may have filled him out right after these two, and I'm pretty sure he's right, so we're just going to leave him there. So if we assume that he's right, and we assume that I just got her right, does she have something better than Farmer? Oh no, there's an advertising button. I feel like I've had a few people in advertising. It's my job with baby. How much does that pay? Comedian, dancer, director. There is housewife. I suppose there's a non-zero chance that she's a housewife. Alright, I guess we'll leave it there. I don't know, though. Did she not have a farm? Doesn't say. You could also argue that she's a founder. It says that they founded. Is founder even a thing? Can you be a founder? No, you can't. Let's look her up again. I know I got deets on her somewhere. I already forgot how to spell Gwyneth. Gwyneth Madsen. Nothing on poor Gwyneth Madsen. And I forgot the other one, so we're just going to put Roottrees. Nothing for either of them. There's something on her somewhere in here. He was the founder and first president. There's a picture of him and his wife, Gwyneth. There's a bio section. He invented a thing. It's not talking about their farm. And I did read it somewhere. I guess I'll leave... I'm not sure whether to leave her as housewife for right now. Let's try the Butler County Times. There's also a non-zero chance I'm spelling Gwyneth incorrectly. I didn't put them on the list. GWI Nith. GWI, I'm spelling it wrong. Great, it was probably back in the Spiderweb times. Is it really GWI? GWY Neth. This is the riveting gameplay that you signed up for when you watched this video. GWY Nith. Root tree. Here we are. She often attended social events with her husband. I don't believe I've read this before. She's not mentioned in the except in that context, so you find no useful information. Well, what about on Business Watch, huh? Alright. Let's go back to the Spider Search Chronicles, and I control Seed when I was supposed to control Gwyneth. Somewhere in this crazy mixed up universe of ours, I saw something about her. Famous picture of the two. Before that, her name was Gwyneth Anderson. She had no brothers, so as the oldest sister, she was to inherit the Anderson Maple Farm so long as she married. So she wasn't a farmer. She didn't have the farm. She was just her, and they're like, you get a farm if you marry. So he had the farm immediately. The farm produced only syrup. It was his idea to create candy, so she's not really a farmer. I'm definitely getting housewife vibes. Also, her name is Gwyneth Anderson, so she's not Gwyneth Madsen. She is Gwyneth... Oh, thank you. Man, I'm good at this game. Oh, nice. Don't mind if I do. It's Deborah Bean, everybody. So the first thing I want to do, go find anybody who isn't gold, because they're wrong. Yeah, that's right. I'm very good at this. Do I get more swag from the mysterious lady? No, I don't. Fair enough. Alright, let us peruse this chart for anybody like you. No, that doesn't. So what do they lock in? Do they lock in incompletes? This mofo, he's still not friggin'... So he's not right in some way, because... Well, I guess he doesn't have a portrait. I can't actually remember if people who are half-finished are locked in or not. Apparently I got... Wait, these are the starter dudes. I got all these hombres correct, which is nice. Yeah, I guess it's not going to lock in half-finished portraits. So the only thing that I can say for sure is wrong would be if somebody was locked in, like I filled in all their data, and they still didn't lock. For example, Gwyneth Anderson, the not farmer. So we good for now. And there was something I wanted to look up. Gwen. These are a picture of Gwen's boys. Where's Gwen? Where are you? Hello, Bean. How you doing? Here they are. I don't have enough to lock in who they... Like, I've got their portraits, but I don't know which is which. So I guess we'll just kind of... We'll leave them where they are for the time being. Which portraits do we have that... Are these the guys that have not been stuck into a slot somewhere? That's November. That's Zach. That's Penelope something. That's Tiny Penelope Baby. And that's Chuck, if I have all those correct. Yep, I know who those people are. I don't know where to put them in the chart. And is that everything I was hoping to do? Stupid Wild Bill. I'm very mad at Wild Bill Williams for not existing in the chart, which means he must go by some, like, that must be his stage name. Let's do Lauren. I believe we've done every one of these mofos. You know what? Actually, we're gonna go right back. Red Roottree. If I'm not mistaken, which I probably am, was Red Roottree not the nickname for... Let's just find it out. Yeah, I'm getting red. I thought Red Roottree was Wild Bill. Then I'm like, you're telling me 2 Roottrees got married? Never. Aloysius Herring Roottree, aka Red, was an appointed judge and politician. He served the shortest term in history. He tried to run for state senate. He claimed to be related, but he wasn't. And yet, he's got a star. Do any of these people have a star without being related to these 2? This person is related. This person is related. Carl is that Carl? That's James. He's related. Carl is related. This person is directly related. It would need to be somebody with a star who's not related. Actually... Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Everyone on this list is marked with a star. So 3, 6. There's 8 people with stars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is that right? No, that's not right. Okay, well, maybe it was right at the time, but we have since added more root trees. 18? Is there 18 root trees with stars? 1, 2, 3... 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I think 10. I was trying to find a starred individual who doesn't have a direct lineage to these 2. And I'm not honestly seeing one. If these 2 had this person, and they were to have a kid, this person would be related by blood to the root trees. As would be this person. We would need to be... There'd need to be like an adoptee somewhere for this to not count, but it does. Alright, so... Red Roottree supposedly has a star, even though when I look him up, it says he doesn't. Maybe we can find something in one of our many periodicals. I mean, heck, maybe he is related, but he got smear campaigned. Politics is nasty business. Many articles. Alright. Jump to the Butler County Times. I once again have completely forgotten to focus on Lauren. I think she's the only one that's been sitting there since the beginning of the game. Silver Screen. Why the dickens would he be in Silver Screen magazine? We pause this search for a brief jump into a random person. Yeah, I've already seen this. I think Wild Bill... Alright, let's not get distracted. Let's pivot. We're going to Lauren Roottree. She's probably got some very useful information for us. And she's just been begging to take center stage. Author Lauren Roottree, a distant relative, is known for her book A Life Between Wars. That sounds like a book. According to a website about famous authors in the early 60s, she released a few romance novels under her married name Lauren Rafferty. Okay, so she's a Roottree and she married a Rafferty. Could it be Chuck? Is my homeboy Chuck finally entering the picture? When her publisher learned she'd been keeping diaries about her famous family, she insisted that they release them under her original name. Fair enough. The selection of diary entries, released in '65 as A Life Between Wars, spans from the untimely death of her husband in World War II to coping with the post-war world as a young widow and mother, as well as her perspectives on changing lives and socialites all the way through the entry into Vietnam. So she comes a little before everybody else. It's not particularly relevant to modern audiences. It is taught in high school English classes to show an evolution in writing style. After the success of her diaries, her publisher re-released her romance novels under her old name. They became popular. She followed the re-release by writing 2 new sequels, what fans refer to as the Court Jester series. You find no recent details about Lauren, though she's listed as retired. All right, what books do we have? We have A Life Between Wars, and we have Romance in Court. Both of them. Are they both published? The romance novels were under her married name, but then they were re-released under her new name. I mean, we might as well search both. A Life Between Wars. Lauren Rafferty. I don't think her husband is Clark. I don't know. I'm getting further down the family tree vibes from him. All right, let's look up those books. Actually, let's write down the name of those books. A Life Between Wars. What else? Romance in Court. Romance in Court. And the Court Jester series. Darn it. My Oki is not playing ball today. Romance in Court is a book by Lauren Roottrees, is the first and most famous of a trilogy called The Court Jester. They're about different romances but told via the same narrator. You can probably surmise the narrator's profession. Ah, good point. The other two books were called Return to Court and New Romance in Court. Searching for them online fields you new results. They had some popularity. They're not terribly popular now. Romance in Court, Return to Court. Romance in Court, Return to Court. Oh, I didn't get that right. Romance in Court, Return to Court, New Romance in Court. Why don't more authors do that? Romance in Court, Return to Court, New Romance in Court. I mean, just imagine if Jurassic Park had a sequel called New Jurassic Park. Surprised Dan Brown hasn't tried that. Alright, so here we go. Let's start typing these. We have 4 books by Lauren Rafferty Roottrees, which is a lot of books. We know that she was married to a soldier who died in World War II. Or maybe World War I. And let's try the old ones first. Romance in Court. Because we might get an older edition where she talks more candidly about herself. This version is out of print. It was published in 1964. What else did she write? Let's try A Life Between Wars. And if I'm not mistaken, the other two were only published under her other name. I mean, I'll try it anyway, just so I can know. Return to Court. Yeah, she wasn't publishing under this name by that point. So let's go back to her popular name. Stop looking up the equivalent of Samuel Clemens and get to Mark Twain. Lauren Roottrees. Let's do A Life Between Wars. It's actually about herself. Yeah, there we go. Oh yeah, you just keep bringing those into my inventory. We're maxing out our internet bill. Parents are gonna get home like, what the hell did you download? We're not gonna have internet for the entire month. It was a hardcover book. It's a student edition. It seems you've hit the jackpot. It occasionally taught in schools. You find a hardcover edition that has high quality pictures. A summary of the contents of the book has been added to your evidence Dang. All right. But we not done yet. She also wrote Romance in Court. Doing A Life Between Wars and Romance in Court at the same time was actually the 1960s variant of Barbenheimer. Darn it, Romance. Come on, Oki. Work with me. It's a romance. Here we go. The About the Author mentions she had the inspiration from one of her brother Clancy's lectures. Her husband died in the war. And her brother Clancy is a lecturer. Very good chance it's actually teacher, but whatever. Let's look up the other three, see if there's anything. Return to court. (1970). She had the inspiration from one of her brother Clancy's lectures on the Middle Ages. Let's go to New Romance in Court. Still find that incredibly lazy title, Lauren. I am disappointed. Lauren returns to the Middle Ages with the last chapter in the Court series. The About the Author. She just keeps copy-pasting the same About the Author. Perfect. So we have a lot of new information to look up, supposedly. There we go. What we got? What you got for me? Lauren Roottree. She's on the notable Roottrees. She's marked on your chart with a star. She was the granddaughter of Elias and Gwyneth on her father's side. Her mother's family was called the Cossels, but she hardly ever mentions them. The book was published in 1965 and consists of diary entries that stretch from 1940 to 1965. The loss of her husband was in World War II. Okay. Her husband was named Jacob, so presumably his name is Jacob Kossel. Jacob Kossel died in the World War II, as everybody refers to it as. While Lauren was pregnant, she raised her son Clark. Oh, Clark's entering the picture. By God, that's Clark's music. Clark is son. And we also have an adorable picture of him. She never remarried. She only had one child. It's clear from context that the Roottrees have what are essentially internal shorthand names for different generations. 5 pieces are the first generation of children by Gwyneth and Elias. Lauren's father was in this generation. The next generation, Lauren's generation. Oh, the Free Spirits, the generation after Lauren's, including her son. Yeah, and that's also what the 1970 reunion was called. Man, there's a lot of data. Complaints from Lauren Roottree's diary. Everyone had something to complain about. Gwen, as an only child, complained of loneliness. Do I have Gwen on here? I told her that being expected to watch after 3 younger brothers. So Gwen is like, I'm lonely. And she's like, yeah, try watching after 3 younger brothers. All right. Clark is son, has 3 younger brothers. And that is very good to know, because she's going to be way the hay on the left. I went to stay with her and Aunt Margot. Has Aunt Margot. I hope she would be the sister. During the summer where I went to stay with Gwen and Aunt Margot, I hoped she would be the sister I never had, and then I'd do the same for her. I tried to fly my hair blonde to fit in with them. She just complained. To her, I was the lucky cousin. Now she's off living the glamorous life while I'm stuck here with Clark. I must admit, seeing her contributes to my unhappiness. She gets to be in Starlet and tell tales of how she gallivants around the world, kissing Harrison Lane and Wild Bill Williams. She's the first Roottree woman to be anything other than a housewife, and I'm jealous. If I were not a single mother, could I make my own way in this world? But I'm off topic. A girl with all the luck in the world was jealous of me, and now, though I have been undoubtedly burdened by terrible tragedy, that would probably involve this guy getting hit with a mortar at Dunkirk, I am also lucky to be born into a family that can support me for eternity. I can raise a child without worry. Unlike countless other widows, if any of them were to hear me complaining, they would rightfully scoff, just like I do at Gwyn. Poor Lauren. It was very tough. Oh, there's more. I don't know. Okay, let's put a pin in that. I feel like we got some stuff to put down. So, here's the first generation. It's called the these two generation. Coming up next is the 5 pieces generation. Not this one. The first generation of children. Bam, it's the 5 pieces. After that, they've got the next generation, Lauren's generation, the ones who served on the Enterprise. And that's these people. How many of them are there? Wait, this isn't right. This is the 5 pieces generation. She's not going to be these. Because... Well, I was going to say because this is Gwendolyn, but I don't actually know that. It's a little silly of me to be like, what? And the reason I'm saying that is because she mentioned that she is a root tree from her father. So I don't think she's either of these two. What's going on here? These two had a kid, but there's a dashed line. It doesn't say what that means. What would it mean for these two to have a dashed line? It would imply that they didn't have this kid genetically, and I don't see anything about Lauren in that way. So, alright. I may have to go look up Clark again, figure out how Clark figures into all this. Couple of things I do know. She's not part of the Margot generation. She's part of this generation, and she had 3 younger brothers. Well, here we go. If she had 3 younger brothers, there they are now. So this has got to be her. Give me that photograph. Every time I do it makes me laugh. There you are. Your name is Lauren Roottrees. Where are you at, Lauren? You, despite calling yourself a housewife, are most indeed an author. I was scrolling down to look for a writer. She married... Who'd she marry? I didn't write this to practice my typing speed. Her husband, Jacob Kossel, died in the war. Can't believe I saved this woman for last. My god. She had so much... Not you. She had so much data. A Kossel would start with C. Oh, apparently there is only Sarah Kossel. So either he transitioned right before getting killed in the war, which is one hell of a backstory. I don't think he's actually here. Shoot, maybe this isn't her. Is there somebody else who's got 3 younger slots? I'm not seeing it. But I don't have a room for a Jacob or a Jake Kossel. Oh wait, hold on. Hold on, he can't be... Because wasn't... I write all this stuff and I didn't... Oh, there it is. Lauren Rafferty. So his name would have to be Jacob Rafferty. Bam, there you are. I'm not sure... The Kossels must be somebody else. Her mother's family. Yeah, I got that screwed up. If this woman was paying me to do this, she'd probably be somewhat disappointed, but I think she's getting her money's worth with me. So this is her mother. Her mother is an unknown Kossel. There was only one Kossel on the list, so I'm going to assume that's her. Clancy, who also is a complete shot in the dark. Lauren, Jacob, had a kid. This kid is Clark, who I can finally put in the family tree. Where you is Clark Roottrees? Clark. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, he would be a Rafferty. I know what he does, right? Cousin Clark. He's a songwriter. He has a younger daughter named Katrina. No kids, no kids, no kids, 2 kids. Oh, there's another kid. We found another kid. Any of these could be the daughter Katrina. I'm pretty sure she's locked in properly. Where's Homie G. Clark? Not to be confused with Mary Higgins Clark. You are a songwriter. That's not a thing. Maybe musician? Alright. I'm pretty hecking solid on these two. Need to snap this dashing gentle sir. Put it there. Now, I have data on Clark that I feel I can enter into this system. He's a cousin to Jim. He has a youngest daughter named Katrina. That's important because this person is oldest, this person is middlest, story of my life, and this person is youngest, which means this is Katrina. Katrina, would she be Katrina Rafferty, right? Because, no? Maybe Cat? Katrina Rafferty LaRue. Oh yeah, was this the guy? This wasn't the guy who married LaRue. He married Jane LaRue, right? So Clark Rafferty had 2 failed marriages, one of which resulted in a kid. Where did I find any data on this guy? Cousin of Jim, his youngest daughter Katrina. So Clark Rafferty. The band Jim and Diamond used to make music with Clark. They mentioned an album called These Times. Hey, hey! A band called C&J plus G and Day. Hey, it's not as dumb a name as NSYNC. Released one title called These Times. Someone with a brilliant username who scanned the album noticed it cost him over $200 at auction. This was Jim Roottree and Diamond LaRue's first album before they split off to form a duet. Jim's cousin and Diamond's sister. It wasn't very good. It had some tunes that were similar to the later work. Can't find anything else about Die Hard Dazzler, the band, or the album. The title track is also available. Clark and Jane, I think. Jim and Diamond. Did I just look up Clark Rafferty? I think I just looked up Clark Rafferty. We're gonna pivot over to the yeah, one of the periodicals. No, this one, Modern Music Monthly. Sad. Because, like, I got info on, I think on the page about Diamond LaRue. The LaRue sisters got their start as teenagers, backup singers for their great uncle's record label. They've moved on to their ventures. Diamond and Jane and youngest sister Kim. Somehow they're still the lucky LaRues after all these years. So, unfortunately, despite the fact that Kim is the youngest, these women aren't actually they're on the family tree, but not in some sort of way that lets me delineate them by age. So which one of these 3 is Jane? Let's find that album, see what... Wow, how y'all doing? These Times, an old single from this folk group that looks more like a password than a name. You have a scan of the album as well as recording the title track, thanks to a collector of Jim and Roottree memorabilia. The website also lists the song's credits. Clark Rafferty and Jim Roottree, backup vocal by the LaRues. Folk-style songwriting, it's catchy. Wow, ain't that a jingle.
Life is life, love shall be. Me for you, and you for me. Someday will come, though, that this tree will be the last of what was we. With passing years, all paths diverge. Rivers rambling, onward surge. One source behind old memories, but find their ways to So take my hand beneath the tree and carve your name with me. These times are ours for free. We'll tell ourselves these stories older, dwell on warmth, ignore the colder, probably yearn for what could be, rose tinted by youth's memory. So act as though these times ain't fleeting, love still flows, our hearts heart beating. For now ignore fate's destiny, two roads that cross once at this tree. Someday these times will all be over. All be over. Dew dries on the morning clover. Morning clover. So take my hand beneath the tree and carve your name with me. These times are ours for free. Someday these times will all be over. All be over. The dew dries on the morning clover. Morning clover. So take my hand beneath the tree and carve your name with me. These times are ours for free.
Hey, bravo, bravo. And we'll now return to your regularly scheduled Kevin MacLeod. So let me walk through my thought processes for plugging people into this chart. This picture is a family portrait that name drops Clark and Jane. This is their youngest, whose name is Kim. I then searched. There's only one other Rafferty LaRue available, which made me assume this is Jessica. And then for this guy, I said, well, it's an offspring of Clark Rafferty, not Jane. So I just looked for any other Raffertys, and he's the only other one on the list, which suggests to me that he goes right here. And that is how I figured out those. And I was just about to look up Chris Rafferty to see if I can get more data on him. There's very quaint songs. I like how there's just songs that you can listen to. Chris Rafferty. I was hoping to find info on the two kids because they have jobs listed, but nothing's coming up for them. Wait. No, never mind. I was like, what about Kim? I keep making that mistake. Not that anything's gonna come up for Kim, unless, yeah. Look, they got jobs. She doesn't have a job, you kidding me? But let's see. Where was... There was something I read about the Lucky LaRues. Oh yeah, her name's Katrina, not Kim. Kim goes somewhere on this chart, probably. Let's see if Kim LaRue is a thing. L comes before M. She's in here somewhere. Don't know where. Clara. Dagnabbit, I saw a Clara somewhere. I wouldn't happen to have written down Clara. I don't think I did. But I definitely recall seeing the name Clara. I never looked up Clanched Truss. I dedicated a whole column to it. Look at this person. Alright, I'm going all over the bloody place. What was I hoping to look up? I was hoping to learn a little bit more about Clark. I want to say he talked about his failed marriages. There's a document or a web page somewhere that talks about Diamond LaRue catching Jane in bed with Clark. I don't know if there's any more to learn from there, but I feel like there probably is. I'm gonna look up Clara Lansing, see if I can find anything on her, even though I'm pretty sure somewhere, somehow, already gave me everything I need to know about her. Is it Lansing? Is it Ransing? I may have that name wrong. Yeah, okay. Candy Roottree. A November Roottree is in here somewhere. Where'd Clara go? It's Lansing with an S. Okay. You got anything for me? Nope. And there's a few more angles. First of all, there's a couple of documents I haven't reviewed in here that we're probably going to pivot to if I can't find anything. I'm going to look up Jim. I'm going to look up Jim Roottree in Modern Music Monthly. I think this is it. Jim goes into his first band. They were in the band with his cousin Clark and his ex-wife. Whoa, wait, hold on. His ex-wife. Okay. They grew up like brothers. They never met his father, so their grandpop insisted we hang out. Diamond and Jane are actual sisters. We got a whole family band thing going on. But then Diamond walked in and Clark in bed with Jane. We never agreed on what music should be. So Clark and Jane plus Jim and Diamond is what this means. He plays and writes melodies. He was more interested in catchy tunes. That song resonates with people. He called me up. Alright, he's talking about Clark. He started Raffertunes, and he writes better jingles. The Roottrees are happy to hire. I just went straight for the music. Okay. Jane LaRue is his ex-wife. That would suggest that they got divorced. But these have to be right. These are clearly Clark's kids. Just because he divorced these two people. But man, Clark, maybe you could, like, stop divorcing. Try not to divorce anyone on your way through the parking lot. I can't find anything on the man himself, which is frustrating, because I feel like he is something of a public figure. Though he doesn't seem to be that popular. Alright, let's pivot over. We've got things that we haven't reviewed somewhere. Oh, there's actually more for the wife. An entry titled Sam. Elias Roottree. That's the guy at the top of the family tree. Sam, a distant cousin, was to be included in family gatherings. This is very out of character. Lauren writes, "Why Sam? I have many second cousins. Granny had sisters, and Granddad had a few brothers, but I never met him. None of us have. Granddad said, cut them from the leaves of the family tree, but Sam? The exception for the rule. Cousin Angie. Cousin. Cousin Angie summoned the rest of us next generations, except Gwen, who has taken up residence in Paris, to a meeting. Tried to unravel the mystery. None of us had even met Sam until Uncle Junior's. Wedding to Patsy. Uncle Junior. Is that right? Aunts marry uncles. No, they don't. I have an aunt and an uncle. They're not married. Wait, yeah, I do. Aunt and uncle. Yeah, no, she's... What is she? What is your uncle's wife? Is she an in-law? Is that how you become an in-law? I don't know. Aunt Junior married. You know what? The family tree don't care. They're like, we don't care what you call it. Just stick them on the tree. Uncle Junior married Patsy, making her the uncle wife. Definitely what that's called. At the wedding, Pop told me that Sam was complicated. Eli, Miracle's youngest, not my brother. I don't actually think I have anywhere to put here, but I'm going to keep that in mind. Eli is Miracle's youngest. Mention Sam grew up near the original Anderson farm with 2 farmhands, EC and John. EC is a son. No, he's not. CE is the son. It's like Clarist Everett or something like that. EC's a new fella, and so is John. Sam taught him how to fix the tractors. Why is an outsider cozying into family affairs? Blood is as thick as syrup. Why is he making an exception now? Well, clearly because Sam is probably related in some point. That's right. I think a character I have to put on a family tree is related to the Roottrees. Unpopular opinion, I know. What do I want to take from this immediately? We're going to come back to Uncle Junior and his uncle wife Patsy, but first we're going to put Eli, the youngest. Here's Miracle. There's Miracle Roottree Jr. He married some fella. Miracle Roottree III doesn't have any kids yet. So we're going to put Eli right here. Eli is a dude. Uh-oh. No. Which one? Darn it. My guess is M. I bet it stands for fucking Miracle again, but we don't actually know which Elias it is, nor do we know his job. And I distinctly recall already looking up these people, but let's try Eli Roottree. Come on, baby. Mama needs a new pair of shoes. Oh. What would this be in? Who of these people would care about Eli Roottree? Sounds like nobody, to be frank. Business Watch, Butler County Times, probably. Yeah, let's do that one. CE. Oh, wait. She called him Eli. No, alright, we're not getting anywhere. Darn you, Elias C. and M. Roottree. What gives you the right to be different people? So let's see. Here's Gwendolyn Roottree. Here's 1, 2. We got an architect here for some reason. Why do we have an architect? What's going on here? I moved Elias Roottree Jr. down, apparently, because I used to have him up here, but he belongs here, right? Elias Roottree Jr. So who's this mofo? Isn't that Ernie? I think this is Ernie. Where's Ernie? He's Ernie Jr. And he was the 4th president. I think that's right. I think I clicked Elias when I meant to click Ernest. I'm standing by that. And, oh, we have photos. Okay. This isn't the one with Ernie, but... For old time's sake, we gathered on the warehouse floor. I wanted Eli to stand all the way on the left, since he looked a lot like Pop did. Aw, but she was outvoted. Darn you people. Why didn't you let him stand all the way on the left? They insisted us four stand to the center. Gwen was too special to make an appearance. Grandma insisted we include Sam. No one knows why, including Sam. I didn't think it fair Miracle made it in, since he's technically a 5-piece. I guess my inner child still holds a grudge. I mean, that guy might be Miracle. I was kind of looking for some, like, withered, like, ancient wizardly looking man. But a lot of these people, they, any one of them, frankly, could be Miracle, because he was born so late in his family's life. Maybe this guy, he looks a little older than all of them. I don't think there's enough for me to conclude. I know that Eli is not this person. I also know that Eli looks a lot like Pop. Eli. She also called Eli the son of Miracle. So, okay. Anyway, this wasn't even the picture I was looking for. This is the picture I'm looking for. This looks like the kid from Les Mis. The 5 pieces. This picture was famous. Pop had it framed. That's him on the left. Lauren called this person Pop. And she said that this person looks just like him. I mean, look at him. Guy's got the hair and everything. So he's got to be Eli. And this is her father. He was taken in 1935 to celebrate the move to the warehouse that Eli Jr. designed. Yeah, because Elias Roottree Jr. is an architect. Angie and I wanted to be in the photo since Miracle was in it. Oh, it's him. And they were the same age. We were told only the 5 pieces. They told them to stop the tantrums, and they posed us in front. Okay, hold on. They were told only 5 pieces. So they posed us in front of the camera with Mr. Morden. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that him all the way back there? Alright, I have a few pieces of data I can insert into the... What sucks is, I know that I could tag this dude, stick him in, and the camera will fade out and be like, you did it, homie. And I really would like to pop like multiple people at once, but I don't think it's going to let me do that. Let's just grab Miracle for now. Where are you at? Look at this preacher. Oh no, is that not right? Did I do something wrong? Because that's 3, right? I've got Miracle Roottree the preacher. I've got Lauren. I've got Clark. Actually, I've put a lot of people in the chart without anything popping. Well, let's keep going. There are a few more things I can learn from here. Pop had it framed. That's him on the left. It looks like Pop. Lauren. That would make this Pop. Clancy might still be wrong. And I don't know what Clancy's job is. There's 2 women. I think that's a woman. I think that's Elias. I don't know for sure. Though I do have... Do I not? I have enough evidence that this isn't Elias, right? Yeah, because Pop and Eli... So, Eli Jr. is not Lauren's dad. This slot in the family tree is Lauren's dad, so that can't be Eli. This has to be a woman, and this has to be Miracle Roottree. So, we're good to go. So, I don't think this photo exists. I thought that dashing Chad in the back was Mr. Morden. I think what they're saying is they took another photo, but then they lied about taking the photo just to get the kids to shut up. Which, mood. But, so that's Miracle. Lord knows who he married, but he is a preacher. I don't know any deets on Marguerite. If I could figure out what Clancy's job was, that would be great. He had a lot of kids, and these are all males. Because she had 3 younger brothers who married and married and married. They're all root trees because they're... I mean, they might not be, but they probably are. What else can I figure out? Because unfortunately, I believe I've popped... Oh, you know, I can figure out... I can at least... I can't do much with it, but I can place one more picture. This is Nicole. I don't know which one. I also have no clue what her job is. I'm pretty sure I googled both of the Nicoles already and came up blank. Look at all these Kellogg's. Surprised they didn't. They're like, we've already done clothes and candy. Let's do cereal as well. Helen Lennon, Ernest Madsen. Do I have any Madsens? No, I have Mordens. Sadly, Gwendolyn is female, so she married a dude and they did not continue to use her last name. Yeah, Gwendolyn Roottree had a kid. Oh, you know, this is actually interesting. If Zachariah Morden is called Zachariah Morden, then Zachariah Morden's dad has to be a Morden as well. So let's check the Mordens. Where are you at, Morden? We've got Angelica, Gwendolyn, James, and Zachariah. So this has to be, I mean, it doesn't have to be, but it's probably James Morden. If Gwendolyn and James Morden had two kids, Zachariah and this person, then this would have to be Angelica Morden, who I don't know anything about, but... No, I do! It's Angie! It's on Angie! Angelica stands for Angie, and you can quote me on that. Oh wait, we got more. Clark is highlighted in yellow. Clark's getting married, far too young. Danielle isn't much older. Pop is proud that the first marriage belongs to his family. I'm a bit offended. I was the first to marry, but he never seemed so enthusiastic. Lauren has some strong opinions on everyone in her family. The Free Spirits is a terrible name, but what else do you call a group of kids growing up with more money than any one person can spend? A content house. They all aspire to be musicians and artists and dancers and all sorts of other nonsense, except Carl, but that's because Pop forced Clancy to send him to an academy. Yeah, okay. And Clancy is his dad. My brother pursued paths of knowledge, and Edward wants to take over the department once Pop retires. My first published book, Swashbuckle My Heart, is based on the pirate stories, a daydream I had while visiting Clancy. I used to be harsh toward my cousin. Zach's not a bad president after all. Gwen is Gwen. Okay. Zach's not a bad president. What presidents have we locked in? It doesn't say. Why do you do this to me? Can I put something down to remember that? I'm just gonna put it. I'm doing it. Zach Morden is a president. I will not be taking questions at this time. More importantly, where you at, Carl? We now know that your dad is Clancy. I'm gonna be frank, we probably knew that sooner, but whatever. Were you at, Clancy Edward? Uh-oh. Yeah, no, here we go. Clancy Roottree Jr. I know he's a teacher. Or a lecturer. Let's see if they're different things. They're not. Oh no, there's no teacher. How about professor? Yeah. He's not a 5-piece. He's with Lauren. What is it, Bean? My cat's staring at me. This is them. They looked like Pop did. Pop had it framed. So wait, this is not him. This is him. No? I feel like I'm locking in a lot of people that aren't right. Oh, that's not him. This is him. Yeah, no. This is Pop. Why did I think Clancy... I thought Clancy Roottree Jr. is Carl's dad. Oops. He's in here somewhere. I wanted Eli to stand on the left, since he looked a lot like Pop did. Do we have an Eli on this chart? Here's Eli 1. Here's Eli Jr. This other mysterious Eli would have to be Eli the Third. Miracle has a young Eli. Is there an Eli the Third? I don't think there is. We just have these two. If I knew his job, then I could cheat and just try both of the Elis. Because God knows I filled in enough of these fellas at this point that one of them should pop. Because I have a picture of him. Bam, that's Eli. I don't know, he kind of looks like Eli too, but whatever. Damn, dead ringers. Elias, Roottree. I don't know his darn job, but they talk about him. He was taken in 1935 to celebrate the move to the new warehouse that my cat's covering the screen, that Eli Jr. designed. Angie. I didn't put Angie up here, did I? She appears to be the same age as Lauren. Here's Angie. Maybe. Gwendolyn had a kid. What made me think this was Zachariah? Why isn't this Zachariah? Because Carolyn said she got something from her father's side, right? Is that why I did that? Is this Zachariah? I think I may have made an error. Aunt Gwendolyn. Mr. Morden, who was there with Aunt Gwendolyn. Let's see if it lets me. Oh, no, it does. Oh, man, Chad is actually in here somewhere. Angie and I both wanted to be in the photo since Miracle was in it, and we were even the same age as him. Only the 5 pieces, which really didn't go over well, to say the least. To stop the tantrums, they posed us in front of the camera with Mr. Morden. That's probably him? Who else would it be? I found out years later that they never took a second photo. Mr. Morden, who was there with Aunt Gwendolyn. He sounds like an uncle. Carolyn's dad. Yeah, I was gonna say I've screwed something up, but Lauren. Elias Roottrees is an architect. Carl's dad is with Lauren. He's somewhere in here. Clancy Edward. I don't know his job either, so I can't cheat. So, Miracle is the same age as Lauren. And I have pictures of Lauren. She's one of these two. I think she's this one. Miracle got to be in both. Do I have another? It's a little weird. Like, this is a picture of Miracle from the 5 pieces. I am being informed that Miracle is in this shot as well, but there's nowhere to put another picture of him. There is somewhere to put another picture of him. I'm going to do this so that he's on screen at the same time. That guy could be that guy, I suppose. Also, isn't this guy part of the same generation? Yeah, no. She is distinctly saying that Miracle is a 5-piece. So let's see. Only the 5 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is Miracle the homie with the eye patch? Miracle was very sickly, and he regained his sight, so it would make sense for Miracle to have an eye patch. Yet he didn't pop when I put him in. I still think he's right, but... I did this because I think that's Eli. Mr. Morden was there with Aunt Gwendolyn. Huh. Yeah, I've definitely... No. That could be Mr. Morden. And... Because his wife would... Their kids... That's her maiden name, so this wouldn't be Angelica Morden. Yeah, I'm starting to worry that I've screwed something up here. Where did I get Ernest Madston Jr., the president? Ernie. I know something about Ernie, but I don't want to pivot there just yet. Clancy Roottrees Jr. The reason I think this is Clancy is because in her diary, she whines about how all of the free spirits suck, except Carl, because her dad forced Clancy to send him to the academy. My brothers all seem to pursue paths of knowledge. Edward is taking over Pop's department once he retires. Oh, I didn't look up Swashbuckle My Heart. She writes a very versatile series of genres. Lauren. Oh. Oh, wait, yeah, there we go. Okay. Lauren. This is a buried treasure by Lauren Roottree from the author of the Court series. Keep an eye out for Lauren Roottree's next book. Oh, no. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yes, please. There we go. Yes, bring that. Just frickin' fax all of that onto my living room floor. This was a version of Lauren Roottree's diary released in 1975. Unlike the original diary, it contained no pictures, but it has many new passages that reflect on her thoughts 10 years later. The death of Elias. A summary of the fallout has been added to your notes. Okay. Okay. I wonder if we'll be... Oh, here we go. We're getting more deets on Sam. Alright, from the top. The new diary starts with a chapter that fills in the 10 years between the release and re-release of Laura's diary. The death of Elias Roottree and the fallout from his will. Where an unexpected name was read. Samantha Roottree. Although she and her children were not meant to receive monetary inheritance, she had a stipulation that Sam remained the rights to run the farm. None of the 5 pieces were surprised but shocked everyone else, including Sam. Sam was the illegitimate daughter of Elias Jr. and Patricia Christensen. Patricia and Eli Jr. harbored a secret romance. She became pregnant, and after the birth, her father refused to let her see them. Her baby Samantha was sent to the Roottrees. Elias hid her away with a local farmhand known as E.C. Patricia was married off to a much older man and sent away. None of the next years had heard of Patricia until she reappeared, now going by Patsy. After Patsy's husband died, she reunited with Eli Jr., and they married in the 50s. She mentioned the wedding without knowing the history. Eli had never taken another lover. Lauren, ever the romantic, appreciated this. When Patsy and Eli married, they decided Sam should have been a Roottree in the first place. She was not part of that Clance trust that I still haven't looked up. He wanted to include her in family affairs. That's what led to Lauren's initial diary entitled Sam. Alright. Patricia. Whoa, go back. Patricia Christensen. Great. They... So this is why this is all dashed and funny, because this is Sam. There's Samantha Roottree. What else do I have? She hid her with a local farmhand known as E.C. We mentioned him before. I don't know if they're important. Sam retained the rights to run the farm. Okay. Sam. Oh, here we go. Which is a companion piece. I didn't know our family history when I wrote this. I didn't know Sam was a Roottree. All my doubts were ill-founded. She's a fine woman. Had she the chance to grow up, she might have been the sister figure Gwen never was. Ernie and the kids are lucky to have her. And her children seem eager to help the family in their own ways. Ernie Jr. has been learning the day-to-day from Zach. It's been a long time since any real Roottree was excited and interested in the actual candy as Ernie. As a bonus, Gwyneth has the green thumb of her mother and her adopted grandfather. Sam's a spitting image of Patsy with her jet black hair and green eyes. She doesn't have the thick glasses. I guess that skips a generation. Her children have that covered. Okay. I never met EC in person. He's a confirmed bachelor. Sam had to grow up in a house with him and his roommate, Mr. Miller. Not sure Sam will ever forgive Uncle Junior or Patsy. If I were her, I might never forgive them either. She seems to blame more than just the two of them. She doesn't care about the next gens, but she has a palpable hatred for the 5 pieces. Alright, so I keep hearing about Gwyneth has the green thumb of her mother. Samantha Roottrees. Does it say who she married? Ernie Jr. has been learning the day-to-day from Zach. Okay. There's 2 Gwyneths, right? At least it notes which one I've used before. Gwyneth Madsen. Yeah, this person makes sense to be Gwyneth Madsen. Do I even have any Madsens I haven't just slapped in there somewhere? Ernie. Ernest. Well, look, Ernest Madsen Jr. would have to have a dad named Ernest Madsen. What does Sam do for a living? She gets to run the farm. That's what it said. Sam was to be included. Sam taught him how to fix tractors. She'd make sense as someone to run a farm. Where did I read that Sam got to run the farm? I don't... Oh, here it is. She and her children didn't get any monetary. She retained the rights to run the farm. So she's a farmer. Bam. I don't have a picture of her, but I got some data. This is the Lauren generation. Sam is in the Lawrence generation. There's more info on Clark. I get deja vu. Clark's gotten married again. Sure, I lost Jacob, and Gwen divorced Wild Bill just before she had her second. Not even I can blame her. I've seen what he gets up to. But we never took a second husband. Gwen divorced Wild Bill. With the way the world is moving, I guess it was inevitable somebody in the family would remarry. I just wish it wasn't my son. If his disrespect for marriage is due to lack of a real father. I did what I could, and Lord knows Eli C. stepped up and helped, more than I can say for Clancy or Edward. Eli practically raised Clark and Jim as brothers whenever he could. Eli's marriage seems fine, and Jim's marriage seems solid as a rock. Pun intended. Oh, because he's married to Diamond. So who knows what causes these things. I suspect he's marrying Jane to keep her from running out on the band. He'd be a third wheel. I don't think a marriage on such a shaky foundation can last. Alright, there's something here. He's gotten married again. She didn't name either of the 2 people. So what this is saying is he had a kid with this second person to give birth to these 2. Can I put down baby? Is that a thing? I mean, Riley Roottree, isn't she like 13 or something right now? And this person's like the next generation. Job baby. Is there any other filler jobs on here? Is she a student K-12? Oh my god, she is. Okay, yeah, thank you. I'm very good at this, I know. Who's right? Lauren Roottree, Miracle, thank god. Okay. Sarah, James, Ernest, Patricia, Jacob. Yeah, look at all these. I did a lot. I'm very good at this. I'm earning that money she's not giving me.
You're listening to WRTD. It's time for your headlines every hour on the 45. It's a bizarre development to an already tragic tale. In the wake of the accident that took his life, some of Carl Roottree's belongings have apparently gone missing. Most notably, a framed photo of the Roottree family from the mid-1970s that Carl had on his office wall. We interviewed a local psychologist about who would do such a thing and why. For that article, search online for WRTD News. Again, that's WRTD.
All right. Hey, far be it from me. I'm not sure I'm doing this right. Maybe it's not a newspaper. Yeah, it didn't show up on the newspaper chart, so let's go to... I mean, this is cutting edge. This is going to be right on the front page. Investigative jazz radio station. They've been talking about the plane crash. They took about a picture was stolen from Carl's office and promised an interview with a psychologist. There wasn't a break-in. Someone with a key took the picture after discovering the pipes burst. It was close to the family. They were trying to save it. They may think the culprit has an alternate agenda. Nobody in the family's come forward to say they have it. Don't believe their lies. There's the Roottrees curse. I bet you Carl was murdered. Alright, before we hit enter, I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything else special. Somebody, I'm going to guess it's that woman who's giving me all the stuff, has stolen the photo. The Roottrees curse. Hell, do we have the photo? I think we do, because it's got water damage. The Rootrees are cursed. 5 new deaths. Not only that, but 3 of the 5 presidents. Guy's car was hit by a drunk driver. Then Ernie stepped down, and now Carl died in a plane crash. He seems to be listing them in order. If you connect the dots of the pattern of the wrapper, it creates a Mayan ruby skull that scares people away. Earth has 4 corner simultaneous 4-day time cubes. Yes! The truth will come out. An email from Chris Rafferty. Hey, it's him. Take down his site with faked proof. The proof looks credible. He knows the proof was fake because he's an expert at creating fake evidence. Chris Rafferty is an expert at creating fake evidence? The first entry is from 96, a blurry picture of the Roottrees family company family history, taken by the website's author from behind a fence and through some trees. Operation RT-29 is real. I witnessed a helicopter land in 1996. Thomas Overwood. Damn, there's a lot to unpack here. Okay, first things first. We have a few presidents who just got listed. Presidents... Roottree Company. The first one was Elias Roottree. The 5th one was Carl Roottree. It's sounding like Ernie Madsen Jr. was the 4th. And Guy was the 5th. And I think we have another one put somewhere in this little adventure. Oh, interesting. I'm wrong about Clark somehow. He didn't get locked in. Curious. Anybody else that I completely filled out, but it didn't lock? There's no name for Nicole. Jessica doesn't have a job yet. I'm not sure how I was supposed to know Katrina went to school. I completely cheated there. Clancy doesn't have a job. And that's it. The only person that I completely filled out, but it didn't confirm him, was Clark Rafferty. So there's something wrong about him. It can't be his picture, and it can't be his that. So that implies he's something other than a musician. Travel agent. It said that he preferred jingles. Maybe he's an advertiser. That's a little bit more advertising than it is songwriting. So we're gonna put that in because we might as well change it in some way since he's not currently correct. Going back to the W News. All right, Ernie Madsen Jr. Have we locked in Ernie wherever he is? I just put him as the 4th president. I still stand by that. We have a Guy. I don't think we have anywhere. Guy Hudson. Is there any other guys? Nope. So I think Guy Wilson is the 3rd president, but we don't have anywhere to put that. Did I put down the 2nd president anywhere? Surely we know who was president after Elias Roottree. Yeah, she... Not this. Somebody mentioned that somebody was taking over for somebody. I remember hearing that. Here it is. Edward is going to take over Pop's department once he retires. Lawrence Pop is Clancy Edward Roottree. And if Ernie Jr. is taking over for him, that would make him the 2nd president. So that's Clancy Edward Roottree, that's Clark Rafferty. Guy. Oh wait, that can't be right. Isn't Guy? Guy is the 2nd president. I just said that. No, I didn't. But then who the hell is Guy? Because if Ernie is taking over for Clancy, there's no room for Guy. But if he was a president, there's going to be something on the man. Did I spell that right? Guy Hudson. Let's jump over to our friends at Business Watch. Hudson. Here we go. Ooh. Huh. Yeah, Guy's taking over the Roottree Company. One of those 2 adorable redheads. Ooh. Guy credits his mother and father, Angie and Christopher, with providing his fiery due. Guy's uncle and current president, Zachariah. Uh-oh. Yeah, I don't have... Alright. Guy's uncle and current president, Zachariah. So maybe Clancy Edward isn't president. Somebody's just taking over a department for him. Fair enough. Let's... Oh, hey, it's Clara. Where is this? This is a small article. Guy Hudson is taking over the company. One of those 2 adorable redheads, his mother and father, Angie and Christopher, is arguing over everything but chocolate. Guy's uncle, Zachariah... Zach was quoted as saying, Clara and I. So Zach is married to Clara. Guy's uncle and current president. We have Faith. We like to think the boys and girls agree he's ready to succeed. I'm going to have to come back. There's like 3 different categories for me to go off of here. First of all, Angie, and Christopher. I really hope this is actually Angie. So that would put Zach in here somewhere. Assuming this is actually them. Sorry, not Zach. Guy. They're fiery, or at least they have red hair. Which it appears they got from their great-grandma, or something like that. So that's gotta be Angie. Right? I mean, it doesn't say, but it's gotta be her. Now, she might not even be in the right spot, but I'm pretty sure that's Angie because she's redheaded. Guy is redheaded. Next president, Guy Hudson. I thought he was just memeing, but apparently he is. He's a redhead. Man, ain't none of you look like redheads. Can't... Someone needs to color balance this thing. You kind of look like a redhead, and you also are dressed like a president. Shame I don't have anywhere to actually put Guy. Where's Zachariah? We have Zachariah right here. His mother and father. Guy would be one of these two. Let's see which of these we've locked in. This guy's right. He's locked in. Carl Roottree is locked in. Clancy Edward Roottree. Guy. One of these is wrong. I think it's this guy. Elias, Roottree, Guy. Maybe Ernie is wrong. No, I feel like I've read a few things implying that Ernie became president. Let me see what I wrote under family. Yeah, he is the former president, and he's the fourth. So I think our presidents are nailed down. I think it's Elias, then Zachariah, then Guy, then Ernie. I'm just going to put Guy here and see what happens, because we have enough pieces to solve him. I'm cheating. I apologize. This is bald-faced cheating. This is Obra Dinn levels of try shit until it works. But I think we're right about Guy. What we might be wrong about is... Yeah, big sad. So let's see. These are both men. Honestly, I have a sneaking suspicion Angelica doesn't actually go here. Not sure why I put Angelica where she is. But let's see. Man, if we could just lock in a few more, we could move on to the next big wave, which I think we can do. I think we've got the info for this. They're standing next to each other. Ernie Jr., Carolyn, Gwyneth M., Eli M. I mean, you know, this also might not be him. He only barely looks like a redhead. Gwendolyn, Miracle Jr. is in here somewhere. Jim Roottree, Clark, Carl, and Eli M. Ernest Madsen. Ernie Jr. is in here somewhere. Can I read that? Look at that. It looks... I don't know. I can't read it. Alright. This is flashing. It's implying that there's something in here I haven't read yet. This is a page from the 10-year anniversary release of Laura's diary. The biggest complaint was how many similar names. There are 4 Elis, for Pete's sake. Agreed. Someone would say I saw Eli in town, and I wouldn't know which one they meant. That's why I became Uncle, or Miracle's Eli, or Eli C. Grandpa Elias was a believer in using the names of each generation to honor those in the last. His father and Grandma Gwyneth's father. Grandpa Elias. Who's Grandpa Elias before we do anything else? Isn't that this guy? Okay, so Grandpa Elias, his father, and Grandma Gwyneth's father were named Edward and Clancy. But we can't even... They're not... It doesn't go that high. So they're just up here above Mr. Roottree. Anytime someone's a junior, they're always the firstborn son. Okay. That goes for Miracle, Eli, or even Clancy. Okay. Okay. That works, because she's a woman. So this would be Clancy Roottree. With the women, it goes out the window. I think Gwendolyn got her name from some combination of Gwyneth and Caroline, who was Elias's mother. What, this guy? Women's names tend to get all mixed up. That's why there's no female equivalent of Junior. You're not alone. I remember once receiving mail for an Edward Clancy Roottree. I had to break the news they got my father's name backwards. So that's good. I got that right. He's not the second president. He's some other thing. Do we know what Lauren's father does? Does she ever mention that? Gwendolyn got her name from some combination of Gwyneth and Caroline, who is Elias's mother. Is there a Carolyn? There shouldn't be, because she would be above this family tree if she's Elias's mother. Doesn't go that high. Yeah, it doesn't go that high. Sorry, Carolyn. Diamond. I was like, maybe they had a kid named Jem Wilson, but that doesn't make any sense. Neither of them are a Wilson. Okay. So that's cool. I didn't see anything to get from that. Our family's names were unusual. His father and Grandma Gwyneth. That's her. So that's not... It's useful, but it's like, alright. So this lets us know about some trends, which is good, I guess. Anger. It's a fun bonus. It's the first thing she could find that she ever wrote. It was a school assignment about anger. Based on the teacher's name, she was in the 3rd grade. I got angry when I met a new girl who I do not like. She was dirty and did not have a pretty dress. Me and Pa walked home and she hugged him. When I told her he was my pop, she pushed me. I got angry and yelled at her, and Pop said to treat her nice. Then she said, "Your pop is my dad." She screamed it loud in my ear. She was lying. Then I got in trouble. Then Pop took her away. He told me, "Don't worry, I'm glad she's gone." Isn't that a fun little jaunt? I love putting hilarious little children's stories in my memoirs. Okay. That could have been Sam. Because Clancy Edward Roottree doesn't have any out-of-wedlock children. I guess this doesn't really care about wedlock, it just cares about genealogy. So if Clancy... I mean, it would be also very strange for Clancy to have a kid with Sarah and then just excommunicate them. But there are implications that Lauren has... But there is something making this flash. Please don't just be this. It is just this. The photo you were given may have been stolen from Carl's office. Can I take a photograph of her? How about him? Turns out Clarence Roottree is just a broadcaster. Did I lock in Stephanie's husband? Yes, I did. Still don't have Clark yet. What the hey? I think he's in advertising. Let's go back to the family tree. Did we get all of you? Who is this? This is Clark, Jim, Jane, and Diamond. Sadly, I don't believe I need photos of them. I've already got them. Don't need anything for rolling down to the city. The Roottree 5 pieces ad. These are Gwen's kids. They go somewhere in here. I just learned that every member of the family with a junior had it first. Here's some Kellogg's. Huh. Clancy Roottree Jr. is in the list somewhere. Alright, I'm definitely enjoying myself, but I'm over on time. I was really hoping to pop this so that I could start fresh, but I think we're going to have to call it there because I don't want these to go on for too long. But still having a lot of fun so far. very hesitant on some of these things I've filled in, especially what's going on over here with Angelica. I could definitely have gotten some of these wrong, but we will find out next time. So until then, hope you're all having a wonderful evening, and have a good weekend. Bye, all.